Hello and welcome to Channel 15 Cedar Falls City News, your source of local news in Cedar Falls. I'm Shelby Gappa. This winter we had record-breaking snowfall totals, which led to a huge snowpack in the Cedar Valley as well as other areas in the Midwest. The warmer weather brought a welcome spring thaw, but it also meant a lot of water rushing into area streams and rivers.
As the river thaws in spring, the ice begins to break up into large chunks. The force of the water carries those ice pieces into piles that clog up in areas of the river. You can see the ice jams in the Cedar River from this video shot on Saturday, March 16th, as the river was exceeding the major flood stage in Cedar Falls. The ice jams pushed up against properties along Cottage Row Road, along the Cedar River in northern Cedar Falls, creating additional localized flooding and in some cases damage to the property from the large, heavy ice chunks. Ice jams are somewhat unpredictable. They tend to form around bends in the river and can create localized flooding as the ice jams essentially dam up the river behind them. Many of the large chunks of ice are capable of doing significant damage to the properties that get in the way as the ice moves and is pushed around by other large chunks of ice. Quick rising river levels led to flooding in North Cedar. Some residents in North Cedar who had never flooded before reported that their basements filled with water in less than 15 minutes, destroying many of their possessions. Approaching the downtown, you can see there were some open spaces where the ice jams had already broken apart and floated downstream. Near the Ice House Museum, a constant flow of ice chunks flowed into and over the dam, creating loud, thunderous noises as many watched this impressive show of force from Mother Nature. This was the 6th highest crest in Cedar Falls history, with a crest of 95.05 feet on Sunday, March 17th. It marks the 2nd highest spring flood in the month of March, trailing only the historic flood of 1961 that destroyed much of Old Highway 218 as it passed through northern Cedar Falls. Although the river gauge recorded the crest at 95.05 feet, residents in North Cedar actually got higher water than they've had in some other floods because the ice jams created localized flooding pockets in areas that had not experienced flooding in the past.
The City of Cedar Falls offered free pickup for residents who experienced wet and damaged property from the spring flooding. The residents needed to get the damaged property to the curb, and the city picked up the debris and took it from there. Now that spring is upon us, it's time to mark your calendars for the semi-annual Household Toxic Materials and Electronics Drop-Off event. It will be held on Saturday, April 13th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Waterloo Wastewater Treatment Plant at 3505 Easton Avenue. This event is open to all Black Hawk County residents. Sponsored by the Black Hawk County Solid Waste Management Commission, Black Hawk County residents don't even need to get out of their cars to drop off hazardous materials and electronics that may be piling up in their homes. Items residents can drop off include LP tanks, fluorescent bulbs, hazardous chemicals, old TVs, computers, and more. Things that have flammable, caustic, or caution on the label may be accepted. No business waste is accepted, appliances, or things that you can manage at home like water-based paint. For a full list of items accepted and not, go to wastetrack.org. Held twice a year, Waterloo in the spring, Cedar Falls in the autumn, this popular event has reached almost 1,000 vehicles in some years. Due to the constant increase in vehicles, volunteers are very much needed.
So in a 5-hour event, that's 200 cars, an hour that we're processing, and we're trying to do it between 40 and 60 volunteers. So, and if there's people out there in the community that want to help, this is definitely an event where we could kind of use their help, and it's kind of neat to see, the results of all your efforts at the end of the event. You see the huge pile of the TVs.
Last year, Waste Track collected nearly 33 tons of old TVs and electronics. That's not including batteries, LP tanks, fluorescent bulbs, and other materials collected. Waste Track is taking volunteers ages 18 and older of all different abilities. There are plenty of different jobs and tasks that you can help out, from directing traffic and conducting surveys to unloading chemicals or TVs. Another great reason for plenty of volunteers is for quick work, which means less wait time for those residents dropping off their hazardous materials and electronics. You can volunteer as an individual or in a group. If you're interested in volunteering for the event, call the Waste Track educators at 266-TRACK, that's 266-8722. Last fall, 60 volunteers unloaded nearly 50,000 pounds of electronics. The event can bring anywhere from 800 to 1,000 vehicles with household hazardous materials over the course of the 5-hour event. Volunteers are needed for this spring's event. If you're interested in volunteering or need more information on the event, contact Waste Track at 319-266-8722, or you can find them online at wastetrack.org. Now that spring is in the air, it's time to get out and clean up those yards. So as you do, you can either throw the yard waste and small branches into your brown yard waste can for pickup, or you can take that debris directly to the city's seasonal compost facility.
The seasonal compost facility is open April through November, weather permitting. It is located in the 300 block of East Main Street, north of the Cedar River, just across the railroad tracks in northern Cedar Falls. The facility is open to Cedar Falls residents for drop-off of yard waste, including leaves, grass clippings, garden waste, logs, branches, and brush material. Brush and twigs are processed separately from the yard and garden waste. Check with the attendant on site if you are unsure where to unload your materials.
What we do, we put our yard waste in the windrows out back here, and then we come in through with a leaf turner and we turn the windrows, and that makes the compost for the next season.
Garbage and demolition material is not accepted at this site. The seasonal compost facility is open to all Cedar Falls residents 7 days a week, weather permitting. The compost site is open on weekdays at 7:30 a.m. and weekends at 8 a.m. It closes daily at dusk. After leaving your yard waste behind, you may want to take some compost or wood mulch back home with you, and it's free for Cedar Falls residents.
The seasonal compost facility is located in the 300 block of East Main Street. The seasonal compost facility is open from April through November, weather permitting. If the Cedar River is high, that can shut down the compost facility. Coming up in City News, Cedar Falls public safety officers have a unique tool to use on fire calls. And the City of Cedar Falls and CFU are preparing to hand out the Overman Awards, recognizing some of the top construction projects from the past year. We'll have all these stories and more when we come back on Cedar Falls City News.
The 44th annual Sturgis Falls celebration will be here before you know it, and we want to make this the biggest ever under the Kidsway tent. Join us Thursday, April 25th for a live and silent auction fundraiser to purchase a new Kidsway tent that will create more space to make the Kidsway experience bigger and better than ever before. Join us for this unique auction and fundraiser. Enjoy live entertainment and complimentary carnival appetizers at the Diamond Event Center on Thursday, April 25th from 5 to 8 p.m. This event includes free admission and unlimited fun, and we want you here to help reach our goal. With your help, we can purchase a new Kidsway tent that will help make the Kidsway experience better than ever at the Sturgis Falls celebration. Mark your calendars now for Thursday, April 25th at the Diamond Event Center at Western Home Communities, and support the Sturgis Falls celebration Kidsway tent fundraiser.
Welcome back to Cedar Falls City News. I'm Shelby Gappa. Cedar Falls public safety officers have a valuable tool available to help assist on fire calls. It's a compressed air foam system which can be used to help put out small fires or to even knock down a targeted area on larger fires. The Public Safety Department has been using it as another tool that can make a difference on some fire calls.
The Cedar Falls Public Safety Department is using a unique tool to assist with fires. The compressed air foam system is a tool designed to put out smaller fires. Cedar Falls has been using the CAF system to assist with smaller fires since 2015.
We have 3 CAF systems, and the design of those was derived from the fact that police cars frequently arrive at the fire scenes first, sometimes 2-3 minutes ahead of time. And if we can get a jump start at some of those fires, you can either put them out or slow them down significantly until the fire trucks arrive. They're a 30-gallon tank. They hold 30 gallons of water, and then there's a foam component put in there. And that foam component is equivalent to what they say 10 times the water amount. So if you have 30 gallons of water, you put the foam in there, you have about 300 gallons of water equivalent.
The department already carries around fire extinguishers, but they feel the extinguishers alone aren't enough.
For years we've been using fire extinguishers that are really they're short-lived. They do their job, but they just don't last as long as you can operate with this system. But to be able to not only get 50 feet from the vehicle, but then on top of that be able to spray a good 50 plus feet on top of that, it puts out a pretty large fire.
Here's how the compressed air foam, or CAF system, works.
The system's real simple to use. You remove the cap here from the cylinder. You open up this valve, which pushes about 22 pounds of pressure into this tank, which runs down to a hose. You open the master switch, and it all fills up to this tank. From here, all you gotta do is take the nozzle out, start engaging the fire. This is a 50-foot hose. When you get to about 49 feet, the last foot pulls open a valve, which causes this to fill up with the water and foam. You just open the valve or open the nozzle in this direction, point it at the fire, and put the fire out.
The compressed air foam isn't capable of extinguishing large fires, but it works well for smaller fires and can knock down flames at an entry point.
I want to tell you a story. It includes the firefighters, the public safety officers, and the use of this CAF system. A couple of years ago, we had a fire, and it was a mobile home fire. And we had 2 public safety officers in training that responded to that mobile home fire. They immediately identified that there was 3 people in that home, 2 kids on one end and a mother on another end, all in the bedrooms. The fire was right at the doorway, right off the deck going into the building. They had one of these units with them. They immediately sprayed it till the system ran out and knocked that fire down considerably in that doorway. The fire trucks arrived at that time. They immediately relayed the information of where those 3 individuals were in the house, the 2 kids and the mom. The firefighters were able to, they had their gear on, they put them on, they went in immediately and rescued those kids. The fire battalion chief in charge of that scene said that day, he said if it wasn't for the combination of public safety officers, this technology, this CAF system, and the firefighters arriving and being able to go into the building immediately without drawing a hose line and putting it out and taking it with them, the outcome of that call could have been significantly different. It's a combination of teamwork. It's police officers and firefighters and technology and cross-training and everybody working together to save property and lives.
The compressed air foam system is not available on every police cruiser, but it has shown to be a valuable tool for public safety officers. It only costs about $15 to refill the system once it has been used on a fire scene. It's nearly time for the city's annual Business and Industry Awards. If you have traveled around town recently, you realize there is a lot of construction happening around town. Last year marked the 2nd highest construction season total in history, as Cedar Falls continues to grow in many parts of town, especially the downtown and industrial park. The City of Cedar Falls and CFU will be recognizing some of these recent projects at the annual Business and Industry Awards luncheon. This year's event will be held on Thursday, April 25th at the Diamond Events Center on the campus of Western Home Communities, beginning at 11:30 a.m. The awards are presented by the City of Cedar Falls and Cedar Falls Utilities. If you're interested in attending the banquet, you must RSVP by April 11th to Kim Kerr at kim.kerr@cedarfalls.com or call 319-268-5115. Cost of the luncheon is $20. This year's Overman Award recipients include Aldrich Elementary School, Jam City, Advanced Systems Incorporated, Eagle View Companies, Western Home Communities, the Cedar Falls Pickleball Complex, and Fairway. Roger Keeter has been named this year's Representative Citizen of the Year in Cedar Falls. Congratulations to all award winners, as well as the many other business and organizations who have invested in Cedar Falls. Cedar Falls Community Main Street received a fantastic fundraiser award for the Details of the District campaign to raise money for the upcoming downtown streetscape project. Cedar Falls downtown has expanded much over the past 3 decades. Regardless of everything from fires to floods and all things in between, the Main Street area has flourished. The downtown district is defined geographically as a 6-square block area, bordered by the Cedar River on the north and east, west to Franklin Street, and south through the 600 block. However, many still believe it to only include Main Street. Not the case. Small elements that help define a sense of place are only found along Main Street, such as historic street lamps, welcoming benches, bike racks, flower baskets. Community Main Street is now trying to change that with the Details of the District campaign.
We want to make sure that we are providing some of those elements off Main to help encourage patrons walking to and from those businesses, improve walkability, to improve the foot traffic in those areas, as well as to remind people that there's parking just a couple blocks off Main, and there's plenty of things to see and do between there and Main Street.
This project will be executed in multiple phases over the next 4 years, starting with State Street. These details will add lighting and historic charm, be more welcoming, and beautify the entire area. This phase construction is a partnership between Community Main Street, the City of Cedar Falls, and Cedar Falls Utilities. So how can you help? There are various naming opportunities for light poles and benches, as well as putting money towards flower baskets, brick details, and banners. Bike racks have all been sold. For more information on the Details of the District campaign, go to communitymainstreet.org. Cedar Falls has once again been recognized as a bicycle-friendly community. Cedar Falls was renewed at the bronze level designation. This is a 4-year term which can be renewed or advanced after that time. Cedar Falls was originally recognized with this designation in 2009, making the city Iowa's first bicycle-friendly community. Cedar Falls is one of 464 communities across the United States that are transforming the American landscape, making bicycling a safe and convenient option for transportation and recreation. You can learn more about the League's bicycle-friendly community program at bikeleague.org/community. And even though summer seems a long time from now, our friends at the Downtown District are excited to announce the summer movie series for this year's Movies Under the Moon lineup. All movies will be held at dusk on Friday evenings this summer. Wreck-It Ralph will kick off the summer on Friday, June 7th. June 21st kicks off the first official day of summer, but you can cool off with your friends at the Overman Park watching Moana. There will be no movie the week of July 4th, but Movies Under the Moon will resume on July 12th with Legally Blonde. July 26th, we hope you don't get scared because it's Monsters, Inc. And August 9th, you can see Iron Man Under the Stars, and the season finale will be on August 23rd, just before school starts, where we can kick up our heels and dance to Footloose before we say goodbye to summer. On each of these 6 Fridays, you can come early and enjoy music from the Cedar Valley Acoustic Guitar Association. There will also be food and beverages available, including popcorn and Maidrites for those who need a full dinner. Bring a blanket and chair and enjoy these movies in Overman Park in the Downtown District. For more information on Movies Under the Moon summer flicks, go to communitymainstreet.org. If you live in Cedar Falls and own a pet, it is time to get your pet license. Pet licenses expire each year at the end of the calendar year. If your pet is 4 months or older, it is required to be licensed annually. The fees for licensing your pet double after April 1st. When registering a pet, be sure to provide proof of rabies vaccination with rabies tag number and expiration date and proof of spay or neuter. You can work with your veterinarian to send those details to us here at City Hall. Fees for dogs and cats are $6 per pet if your pet has been spayed or neutered, otherwise $12 per pet if they have not been altered. For more information, contact Administrative Services at City Hall at 273-8600. That's all for this episode of Channel 15 City News. I'm Shelby Gappa, and thanks for watching.